Hi everyone, it's Allison here, also known as Lasan Faye, and today I'm here with the final Zen Doodle with me video for the month of June. As always, I do the Zen Doodle with me videos with respect to the Zen Art Challenge hosted by Heather over at Mindful Creativity, and I will include a link to that challenge in the description below. Also, I will include a link to all the sources that I have for any of the doodles or tangles that I do here in this video today down in the description. So let's go ahead and dive into these tangles. Alright, so the first tangle I have for you all today is called Converging Lines, and I have it as being from expressivenesskey.com. And so the way that you get started with this one is you're going to draw 3 intersecting curves that kind of divide your space into sixths. So once those are in place, what you want to do is in one of the spaces that you've now created with this division is you want to make curves that connect the two ends, and the curve should go outward. And then in the spaces next to it, you want the curves to go inward. So it should alternate between going outward and inward. So now that we have our lines in place inside, the next part to do is to shade in every other empty space. So let's go ahead and do that. And that is Converging Lines. I actually have done this tangle before, and one of my favorite things about it is the optical illusion that comes from reversing the direction of which way the curves are facing. It makes it seem more 3D, and depending upon your angle and how you're looking at it, different parts of the image seem to pop up at you. So this is one of my favorites, and I do honestly believe that coloring it in is the way to go in order to get this full 3D effect. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this tangle here and move on to the next one. The second tangle I have for you all today is called Outlander, and it's by Chrissy Frampton. And the way you want to get started with this one is you want to start by making a grid. So I'm going to do a 3x3 grid, but the size of the grid actually doesn't matter. And once you have your grid in place, in every other grid square, you want to draw a circle. Once your circles are in place, then in the remaining grid squares, you want to draw a line that goes from the upper left corner down to about 2/3 of the way across the bottom. And then you want to draw a line that's parallel to it, that's about 1/3 of the way across to the top, all the way to the bottom right corner. Once those lines are in place, with the lower of the two lines, you just want to draw some vertical lines that connect the diagonal line to the grid line below it. And that is Outlander. This is a really nice tile pattern tangle. I think it's pretty straightforward to do. So I'm gonna go ahead, leave it here, and move on to the next tangle. The third tangle I have for you all today is called LaBella, and it is by Nancy Robinson. And so the way you want to get started with this one is you want to, I would suggest starting with the base of the line or the curve that we're about to draw. And what you do is you want to create a single wide spiral going out that comes up as far as you would like it to go, hooks over, and connects back to the curve that you've been drawing. Then within the loop that we've now created, what you want to do is from the sharp point that occurs within the loop that happens when we connect it back up, is you want to draw a line that comes from there, comes up, and creates a spiral at the top, and do a second one of those that branches just a little bit lower and a little bit smaller. Then on either side of the original line or original curve that we drew, we're just going to draw some leaves that come off of it. And we're similarly going to repeat coming in from the sharp connection, going out, spiraling, and doing a second one within that. And similarly on the other side, except we're going to have the spirals go the other way. Then between our initial leaf and the leaves on either side, we're just going to have a little stem that comes up and does a single spiral in. And that is LaBella. I think this is a really pretty tangle. It has the ability to mesh really well with a lot of other tangles. You could use it on its own. You could create chains of them by, say, extending out these little end spirals here. You know, it's open to interpretation there. You can also choose to color or frame this in however you wish. But I'm going to go ahead and leave mine here and move on to the next tangle. The fourth tangle I have for you all today is called Chloe, and it is by Erica Kalet. And the way you want to get started with this one is we're going to make a 4-petaled flower. And the way I suggest you do these petals is you start at your center point and do parenthesis shapes in order to make your flower petals. So now that we have our base petals present, you also want to then do another 4 petals that are at a slight diagonal to the petals that we just drew. And you want to have it set up so that the new petals only intersect one of the previous petals. And then with the new petals that we just drew, we can go ahead and color those ones in. Alright, so that's it for Chloe. Worth noting, if you look at the image off on the right, you can see there's multiple ways that I could have chosen to color this in, and there's also multiple ways that you could choose to color it in. You can also use this flower in a tile and combine it with others that look like it, or you could just do a single one to, say, fill in a corner of a piece that you're working on. Either way, it's up to you as to how you want to use it. You could also change the shape of the leaves that you're working with. But I'm happy with how this one turned out, and I'm going to go ahead, leave it here, and move on to the next tangle. The 5th tangle that I have for you all today is called Hearts Apart, and it's also by Nancy Robinson. This is another flower pattern one, and the way we're going to get started with this one is we're going to start by drawing a heart. And coming off of it, we're going to draw another heart. And another heart. And another heart. And one more, just to make that go all the way around. So now these are the base for all of our petals. And then from the center of our flower, we just want to draw these little teardrop shapes that come up and hook around at the point of the heart and come back in. And that is the basis for doing Hearts Apart. You can also choose to shade or color in what you've drawn. So for example, in the little teardrop shapes that I drew inside of each heart, just to add a little bit of dimension to it. I think this tangle looks really, really cute, and I'm gonna go ahead, leave this one here, and move on to the final tangle. Okay, the 6th and final tangle that I have for you all today is called Astra, and it's by Yana Pekrova. And so the way that you want to kind of start this one out is we're going to start from the lower left corner, and we're going to draw 2 parallel lines that are pretty close to each other. And then at the top of them, we're just going to draw a little oval. Then from where the oval connects to our 2 initial parallel lines, or our stem as I'll later call it, we're going to draw 2 huge parentheses coming off the sides, And we're gonna go ahead and triple those parentheses. Then with that in place, we're also going to add 2 more smaller parenthetical shapes underneath on each side. And we're also going to triple those up. Then, as a last step, we're going to just draw straight lines that come out of the base and go out to however far you wish. And with this, I recommend that you use a thinner pen tip than what you've been using. And you can choose to make those final lines as many or as few as you wish. I actually think it looks better with the many. But that is all it takes in order to do Astra. And yeah, so I'm just going to leave this one here. And that is it for the tangles for this month of June. I can't believe how quickly these went by. I love a lot of the tangles that are on here. Actually, I think I love all of them. They're really pretty. I like the fact that this month kind of had the theme of being very floral in nature. And yeah, I really love it. So I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to these Zen Doodle with me videos. And I really hope you'll join me next Saturday when I start the Zen Doodle with me videos for the month of July. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, go ahead, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos from me about Zentangle or the Zen Art Challenge or about bullet journaling, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. Anyways, again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take care, have fun, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.